to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy. We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Welcome.
Catch the yawn?
Yeah, welcome everyone. We're trying to wake up. It rains here in SoCal and we don't know what to do. We're just all gloomy because we're just not used to it.
Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show Live, episode
I about said lesson.
192.
192.
Did I say lesson?
I said lesson.
Bethany, how could you?
Lesson. Oh, I'm loud.
Your audio.
All right, guys. We are sharing one mic today, so hopefully we won't go in and out too much. You'll be able to hear us, okay?
Oh, I gotta stay close to you.
Please, I'm so sorry. Please include your questions and the age and breed. Whoa, that was really loud. The age and breed of your dog is really helpful to us. There's a motorcycle on the PCH.
The PCH. Oh my goodness.
Apparently I'm not a native because I don't know how to say anything correctly.
If you put a "the" on it, you're not native. You're not native.
Just for any tourist, we're just going to go drive PCH. That feels so weird. The PCH.
Would you drive the Hawthorne?
The Hawthorne.
Oh, I guess you would say the 405.
Yeah.
Didn't work on that one. All right, from Mia.
We'll dive in.
Mia Heartsign.
Mia Heartsign.
My GSD knows all the basic commands, but it feels like she only listens when she wants to. And now, I know I shouldn't repeat, sit over and over, but what should I do? She'll just stand there like she can't hear me. I think you probably need a leash on that dog. Oh, sorry, I gotta stay by that mic. Damn it. Okay, shoot.
Dag
Darn it. Dog narn it. All right, dog narn it.
You're clearly not from the West.
I know I do. I gotta stay close to it. It sounds like you may not have a leash on that dog, and if you do have a leash on the dog, pick up the leash. And when you use food, there is a way to use food to get a stronger food lure. When you give a hand command to a dog, if their nose isn't tracking the food, it just is empty words and food in your hand. So when you want to get a sit, when you want to get it down, when you want to do come, you're actually looking for a food lure. Oh.
Nala says hi. Look how long she is.
She is long.
She's gotten so big.
But you're basically looking to put the food to the nose, have your leash not to add tension, just to prevent your dog from leaving your space. Mm-hmm. And while the food is on their nose, you want to kind of do a one finger up or just a lift in general, up and slightly over the head. But you got to move slow enough so that nose tracks your fingers and can smell the treat the whole way. Once that butt hits the ground, you could give a good and give a treat. But if your dog is already struggling to sit and keep that sit, don't ask for the sit. Sorry, I got to get by the mic. Don't ask for the sit.
Just get back. I'm tired of leaning forward.
I don't like leaning back. I don't like it. You're not looking for the moment to where their butt hits the ground and they hold it. You're just looking for the moment that their butt hits the ground. So you could give a treat on the break right after that butt hits. So you're asking for the sit. They're already struggling to hold the command. Right when their butt hits the ground, give the release command and let them take a treat out of your hand and move out of that command. Do that a few times so the expectation of them staying is kind of going away. And then once they're getting better at it, you'll notice they naturally hold it a little bit longer. Then after your sit, butt hits the ground, mark a neutral good. If you're excited, so are they. Neutral good, give a treat, and then quickly give your release. So they're holding it less and less. And as you do this longer and longer, you'll start getting a little bit more duration. When you want to specifically work on the duration, you could even do a triple treat. Good for the sit, short pause, they're kind of watching you. Good, give another treat. And then on the third one, usually after that, I'll release them with, we use break, you can use whatever word that you guys use. That would be my system for it. What'd you do?
I totally disagree with everything he just said.
Oh, I love it. What you got?
Well, first of all, can you take Nala?
No.
She's not you. Yeah.
You don't like Nala?
Oh. No, it's just
Nala's
hard.
the sweetest one we got.
I didn't say she wasn't sweet. I just said it's hard with the mic and
Well, I'm curious to your advice now, though.
she doesn't want to settle in. She wants to just walk all over us, even though she's calm. Okay, so for me, I think that you should do everything he said when there is a distraction.
I disagree fully. Disagree.
Okay. Wait till you hear what I have to say.
Okay.
So we didn't get age We didn't get age of your German Shepherd.
But it's a puppy program, so we're assuming your dog is about 4 months old.
Are you done?
Yeah, because that's what I assumed.
Okay. Well, you didn't tell anybody that, for the record.
It's a puppy program. It's assumed.
Puppy program. Lots of people consider puppies to be 8 months, 9 months, 10 months old. But anyway, even if
adolescents.
even if you, I agree. But even if you have a 16-week-old puppy, I still disagree, because you said you think your puppy knows all of their basic commands, and so I'm going to believe you. Just to be honest, I'm going to believe you. Now, you should do everything he said when there is a distraction, even a low-level distraction, because even though your puppy knows all their basic commands, in our experience, I think it's safe to say both of our experience, people kind of misjudge the level that their puppies can handle and still be able to do their obedience, and they try to wean off of food and guidance too quickly, okay? So I will say that, but this is what I would change when there's not much going on around you and you're working in your home with very little going on, or right in your front lawn and there's just not much going on. If your puppy isn't sitting when you say sit, I would say you really need to work on your marker. Sit is a marker, just like good is a marker, no is a marker. So if you just keep going sit with food lore, your puppy might be very food driven, not really listening to the sit, not really knowing what they're following. So for me, you need to, whatever you're introducing, whatever you're teaching, you're introducing first. So if you're at the stage where you think your puppy is like good with the sit and has learned the lure and all that, what you need to be doing is get your hand out of the cookie jar. There's no hand in your pocket, but you do have food in your hand. Relax it at your navel or down by your side. With a German Shepherd, I'd probably definitely do the navel. Just because they're so big, and then we'd have to run into a whole nother thing of teaching them not to be pushy with the food. So hold it at your navel, look at your dog, and you're holding the leash as well. And like you said, but instead you're just going to go sit. And I want you to pause for a second. Let your puppy think for a beat. So it's going to go like sit. Then do the lure without repeating yourself. So you're going to say, sit. Your puppy's going to be like, what is that again? And you pause, let him think, then add the lure and create a bridge between the two things. Because there's plenty of puppies that we've worked with that do really struggle listening to the new language, because that's what it is for them. They're learning a new language. They struggle listening to the new language while you've got food in their face and you're just luring a bunch. So they don't always pick up on the verbal very well. And then the other big thing that you might not be doing, and this is why you're struggling. So you got the sit, you got the pause, then lure if you even need to, then fade the lure and just point is what we do. But what I want to make sure you're doing is you're not going, good piece of food at the stage you're at. Because if I take you at your word and your puppy knows their basic obedience, you don't say good, give food. You go sit. Lure if you need to. Good. You lured, but you don't need to give them their food right away. Pause. Then deliver food. Let's go, or break. And then have them, when they get good at it, have them do 2 or 3 without food. You can still be holding food to help them with the lure, but you don't give it to them right away. Good. Let's go. Sit. Good. Let's go. Sit. Good. Let's go. Good. Give a piece of food. So really start spacing out the marker word good with food delivery. There needs to be a pause in there. It's the same thing with sit, pause, let the dog think, then give them the information, the lure, what to do. They'll always follow hand motions and luring first, because that's, how they learn the easiest. And so getting them to follow the verbal command and then have patience between the good marker and the food can take time. Do you still disagree with me?
No, because this is definitely a 6 or 7 month old dog. I guarantee.
Why do you think that?
Because everything I read in this question now, not being the one who read the question, for sure.
Well, just to be
boundaries, stands there like she can't hear.
Yeah,
this isn't a
adolescent
learning commands.
It's
an adolescent dog who's saying, "I don't care."
So here's the thing, though.
I hate when she's bright.
Well, here's the thing, though. The advice I'm giving is still for a 12-week-old, 16-week-old that's doing good. Like you want to phase.
It's a gradual progression.
You want to phase that stuff quickly. If your dog is smart, and most GSDs pick up things really quick, you want to fade all that stuff quickly. Otherwise, you're just spoon feeding them commands and they're not thinking for themselves, which leads into other problem behaviors. If you have an adolescent that's doing this, you need to be more patient. You need to take more time, and you need to work more on your spatial pressure and blocking. Okay, we can move on.
Cool. All right. Shinlin, you get to read them from now
That
on.
was fun. Okay.
I like listening, not reading.
You like listening?
I like listening. You go.
Interesting. Kind of off topic. Did you pre-read these? Kind of off topic. I got a puppy and I'm trying to get into a routine. However, if I'm gone for work, how can I keep them from going potty in the wrong area? Will this postpone training? Oh, that's not off topic. Oh, it must be a comment to a different type of video. That's okay. I would say.
You need a playpen. You need a playpen or some kind of crate setup if you're going to leave them home and you're not going to be there. But also, you got to really puppy-proof the area they're going to be in as well. Do we get an age for that?
He doesn't mean crate setup like a crate where your dog stays in there. Okay, wait a minute.
Well, a puppy condo, maybe, if you have a large enough crate.
But wait, you said, okay, but you just said crate. We don't crate dogs that potty and crate. That's not the purpose of crating. You're not being specific.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's not what he means. He meant like, if you have a small breed dog, playpens can sometimes be dangerous. You could get a very large crate. You could put puppy pads at one end of the crate, and the other end of the crate is a little bit of water.
You said specifically, if I'm gone for work, how can I keep them from going potty
you
in
can't.
the wrong area?
You can't.
You have to have some kind of area for them, like containment. It's got to be a playpen that you know without a doubt they can't jump over, so it's got to be significantly taller than their range of jumping. We've had people before use crates where it's a significantly larger crate and it's actually kind of sectioned off. You have a potty area in it. You have a sleeping area in the back. You have like your food in one spot. So we've had people do that, but ideally is we don't really recommend that. It does teach some bad habits in the beginning, like potting in your home, potting in a crate, or potting in an enclosed environment.
Yeah. And it just takes a lot more time to properly potty train them. If you live somewhere where you've got like a rover or something like that, where it's a little more on the inexpensive side, that's the only reason I mentioned rover, is so they can just come to your house and do a quick potty and maybe play with the puppy for 5 minutes, check water, and put them back in. So
there's a lot of cities that offer rovers for like $15 a trip. So it's like $30 a day if you can like add that into your schedule, and they just come in for about 5-10 minutes, potty, quick little 5-minute play sesh, put them back in the crate, and then they're good to go. That might be something to consider.
Yeah, definitely. So again, guys, we do prioritize people who show up for our lives. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and include the age and breed of your dog. Okay, Issy says, you don't have any, right?
I have one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Julia, she hates going in there and tips I could use. I assume you mean hates going in the crate. Tips that you can use. Don't make crate always a long experience. So if you put her in the crate and she's in there for an hour and a half, she starts learning that she goes in there for that purpose. When I bring dogs out of the crate, sometimes I'll take them for the potty first if I know they really have to go, but then I'll bring them back to my crate room. I'll put them in the crate, offer them a treat. I'll release them with break once they're able to settle a little bit. And the break is the reward. And then I kind of just guide them back in. And then when I'm done with that, 5 in, 5 out, I'll take them out and I'll give them their full free time. So they're not just associating crate with long periods of time. You're creating a more positive association to it. And here's a big one. Never make crate a punishment. That's not something everyone knows about. So if your dog has an accident, you yell at them, no, bad dog. They're not going to that crate. That's how you create a negative association. Emotion is what creates it. So if you ever have to put your dog in the crate and they've done something you don't like, take a breath, take a beat. Regulate your emotions, even if you got to fake it till you make it. Calmly grab your dog, put them in the crate, close it, lock it, and just walk away. It's not a punishment. It's more of a timeout because you've tried everything you can and they can't help themselves. This is how you help them.
I would say that some dogs, even if they go into crate and they lay down and they're good, there's always like a hesitation with walking in. They might associate it with you leaving, like he said. For me, I would just add to it a little bit and say, you know, I'm guessing that you're doing at least 2 15-minute rounds of obedience training a day, because that's really a very bare bones basic standard for when you have a puppy. And so let's start to add crate to that mix. We call it house. So we might go place and down, stay, or just place. If they don't know sit or down yet, that's fine. And come And then I might walk them, like, let's go, walk them into the bedroom, house. It's what we call crate, kennel up, whatever you want to say is fine. Guide them in with leash, food, whatever works for them. Or maybe you do have to kind of pick them up and put them in at first. Then, shut door, piece of food. If you don't have a dog that's taking food, then you've got to play around with maybe having a little bit more of a hungry dog, choosing a hungrier time of day, using some of their kibble to train with, upping the type of food you're using. Do like some higher value treats just for a few days to get feeding in crate. Yeah, feeding in crate. But use a higher value treat for a few days to get over the hump. But you're doing 10, 15 minutes of now integrating house, staying in there, waiting for permission to come out. You're integrating that into your obedience routine.
Also think about your free time. You're doing free time in a specific way. That 15 minutes that she mentioned, that's your training. That's your mental exertion, but your puppies still have energy coming out of the crate. You got to get some kind of physical exercise, whether it's a short walk up and down your living room, whether it's a 5-minute game of tug with a good drop, a sit, a treat, and then a break and getting the tug again. You got to have some kind of physical exercise, then mental. And then they have to learn how to settle before putting them back in the crate.
That's true.
You got to work them on all their needs and then show them what you want when they're inside of it. That's like our supervised separation. That's the last 5-10 minutes we do before putting them in the crate. So they learn to lay on a dog bed next to our feet, slightly away from us, and not be in our laps. That dog being in your lap before you put them in the crate, that's an emotional connection that they're going to have trouble breaking when you put them in the crate. Give them more calm work before crating.
He's given you like a whole can of worms. So if you would like more information, more details.
Join our online school.
Yeah. We have
an
online school that actually breaks down all of these specifics. So just a heads up, you just go to thepuppyacademy.com. Okay. I was like looking for some reason. It doesn't matter how I join TPA, but it doesn't show me anything. It's so weird. All right. I don't have any.
Quiet today for questions.
Yeah, it is quiet for questions, but yeah. Anyway, I have to look at that later. Okay. Oh, you do? Okay, jump in.
Should do. Maria. My 4-month-old puppy will not cry at night, but whines in the crate at naps. After 45 minutes, he is still whining. The whining can be... All right, so the whining I know is tough. Let me just say this. Whining is actually a coping mechanism for your dog. Whining is not something I really correct. It's like them learning to work through something. When I get an escalation, like a yip or a bark, that's when you do you can go in there, you can work them through it a little bit, you can do a few things, but the whining, honestly, I'd kind of just let the whining go a little bit. But let me ask a few things. Is your crate in your bedroom as far away from the main living area as possible? If I have my crate in my living room, it's like me sleeping on the PCH with cars going by me. There's no way. There's too much foot traffic and car traffic. They're always stimulated, so their brain can't really shut off. Quiet area, cover it with a towel, make it a little bit of like a den for them, because when they're in the wild, they sleep, they eat, and they mate. That's pretty much it. That's their quality of life. When we have them, we have extra tasks, but when they're in the crate, that's their sleep time. Cover it, make it dark, and then just make sure that you can keep that room as quiet as possible. You could do like a white noise machine by the door of your bedroom to drown out some of the outside noise. You could even do like a little sound machine right next to the crate itself to give your dog something to listen to. So their brain can latch onto that stimulation, and that can help them settle, and then that can slowly start lessening to.
If it's next to the crate, don't have it too loud. Their ears are very sensitive. I will say I agree with everything he said. I just want to add on to it.
Devil's advocate.
I know.
What
Well,
you got?
my it's not a devil's advocate, but I do disagree with you a little bit.
Ooh, what you got?
Well, just that 45 minutes is excessive.
I think she said more than 45 minutes.
But 45 minutes of whining is excessive. So for me, the tweak that I would make without knowing more, information, is I would probably focus on stacking more things before I put my dog in crate.
She does yip as well, so she is getting that
Some escalation, yeah. So what I would say, and I'm sure there's lots of ebbs and flows, but what I would say is, let's make sure we've got low stimulation before and after crate. So 15 minutes, no affection before you put him away. 15 minutes after you bring him out, no affection. But not only that, you are matter of fact, calm, clear. It's like all business. You're a trainer. You put your trainer hat on and you're like, I got a job to do. And so it's very matter of fact, your interactions. You want him to wait till he's forgotten that he's come out of crate, before you do any excitement or share any affection with him. You can still take him out to potty and leash him up and everything. It's just all very cool, calm, collected. Okay. And I would, no. And I would say, to add on to that, that I would spend like 3 days, like if you've got like a long weekend or something like that, really stacking up more exercise to see if you can get him over a hump. And so this is what I mean by that. Let's say you're doing like 10 minutes twice a day of basic obedience, some play, and then like you're just starting to walk him a little bit, For me, I would do the 15 minutes of obedience. Then I would do a 10-15 minute walk. I don't want to overdo it. I don't remember the age. What was it? 4-month-old. Okay.
4 months.
So, 4 months old can do 30 minutes sometimes, and sometimes 10 minutes tires them out on the walk. So
she has done the no affection for about a week now.
Okay, good deal.
You're in the heat of it.
Good deal. So, let's try stacking some stuff to really tire him out mentally and physically. So 15 minutes of obedience work. That's just same thing. It's very strategic the way you're doing it. It's not like puppy come, yay, good job, buddy, sit. Like, no, you're a trainer. You got a cool head on your shoulders. It's come, good. If you need to motivate, it's let's go, buddy. It's just a different energy to it than I love you because
it's the no BS energy.
Yeah.
You're moving with some purpose, whereas before he has the purpose and you're kind of following his purpose.
Exactly. And
be the leader.
Be the leader and just really try to tap into that part of the, energy that you have. And, just like very purposeful, very calm, confident type of authority. And then anyway, I would do the 15 minutes of training, the walking, just enough to, tire him out, but I don't want him to get frustrated yet, but I want him to be tired. And then if there's anything left in the gas tank, do like a little bit of fetch and drop it, or out, whatever you say. And then, I might need to calm him down with 2 to 3 minutes of crate, shut door, open door, pause, let's go, small circle, crate. If he can do it, down, if he's not too tired. I would do that just until I really see him be like, Mom, I'm done. Like, I'm so done. I don't want to do anymore. I just want to sleep. And then it's like, okay, unclip the leash, shut the door, walk away. I'm not saying you won't get whining, but I would try to do this stacking like 3 times a day before you put him like really, that's why I said you need like 3 days to really commit to it. 4 times during the day before you put him in crate, do this stacking, and hopefully that extra tiredness, I don't want you to do it forever, will get you over the hump and help him learn to relax in crate during the day for longer periods of time. Try that for 72 hours and see what you get.
You added something there. I want to address it. He's very good at commands. Just the crate is his biggest problem. When you're doing commands with him, is he motivated to the level to where you ask for a sit and he does it, but he's kind of wiggling the butt a little bit?
Yeah.
There's like constant excitement. When we're getting that, an extra step you could do is when you're marking your good, you're not actually marking the excitement. You want to wait till he's a little bit more calm. Mm-hmm. If he can hold the sit for a little bit longer, you tell him sit.
Good,
you're holding
pause.
the food by your sternum or up a little bit higher even. There's a short wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You mark your good and you get a bigger wiggle. So you freeze, you pause. And when he finally starts slowing down, then you go in with the treat. And maybe gauge your good as well. If the good is good and you get a big excited wiggle, good. It's more neutral.
Yeah.
So play with your energy with them.
With really crazy puppies that are dealing with
You
crate.
can't even give good.
Yeah, that are dealing with
What's up?
With really crazy puppies that are dealing with crate or separation anxiety, I will absolutely go more silent with them for a few days and do more luring, energy, more body blocking and body language guidance just to see if I can get over the hump. I will say that, and I don't mean this isn't geared towards you to like meanly, I swear. This is just a very general thing that always pops into my head when people say, oh, my dog is really good at obedience. They're just, they just react to dogs, or they just struggle in the crate, or they just do this, or they just struggle in the car. My thing is always, can your dog do a sit or down when someone walks in the house and walks by them? Can they listen to you and do a down when a dog walks by? Can they do a down and stay when you're cooking dinner? or they're preparing their dinner, do they just stand it down in the middle of the kitchen at a distance from you waiting, and I'm not expecting your dog to do all that at 4 months old. I'm just trying to get you thinking a little bit more about the expectations of your dog, because our dogs can always do more, and they always have the capability of having more impulse control usually than we give them credit for. So I just want you to remember that it's not really about the obedience. We just use obedience to garner impulse control and work the brain. So just kind of try to look at it like that. I have a question on Instagram that I want to do before we wrap up. Nan Cruz C says, this is an easy one. When is a good time to switch from 3 times a day feeding to twice a day? I have an 11-week-old puppy. For me, this really depends on the breed. If you have a very large breed dog, they could be on 3 times a day, for a year. I don't know if they do Great Danes for a year and a half. I'm not even sure about that, but it's really a digestive thing. If you have like an average size dog, as soon as they're kind of full grown, not their skeletal system, that takes almost up to 2 years, but just full grown in front of you, you're good. That could be 9, 10, 11 months.
I disagree.
What do you disagree with?
According to local vets, they would say that you do it when their skeletal system stops growing in height, not length or girth.
That's what I just said when they don't grow anymore.
Rely on skeletal system. I thought you said it didn't rely on skeletal.
Well, skeletal. Okay, so sorry. When I said skeletal system, I mean like all the joints.
Oh, tendons and stuff.
Yeah, all of that takes 2 years. Like
we're in agreement there.
Yeah, sorry,
my bad. When they stop growing laterally and they just start growing longer and thicker, that's usually when
fatter.
Stop,
He's trying to say fatter.
Girth, yes.
But yeah, no, when I say skeletal system, I meant
she means
joints, tendons, all of that. That's going to take a really long time. But that really just depends on the age and size of your dog. That's why they wait a really long time for the really large breed dogs, because they eat so much. It's more of a digestive thing to space it out.
You can look at it too. If you're starting to lose some food drive, you could even lessen certain meals throughout the day and see if you build up food drive, and you could even take a portion of the meal you would normally give in your bowl and you could put that in a training pouch. They're still getting the food, but you're training with it instead. So it's giving it more value. So if you're starting to lose your dog is starting to lose their appetite, they're not as motivated to train, split those meals and make half of them training.
So again, he just meant grow up tall. Once they're pretty much done growing in height, you're good to go for twice a day.
Yep.
All right. Let's see if we can squeeze in another quick one. 4.5-month-old Aussie. Well, if it's month-old, their inner ear stuff is still all
the crystals
figuring it out. And so just make sure you drive nice and slow, put them in a crate and cover the crate.
Don't let them see out the side windows. That's where they see everything going like this, and it makes them sick.
Ginger can also help with dogs just like with people, but I don't know the amount you would need. You'd have to look that up or ask your vet.
Acidity and food can actually hurt your dog too, so you probably would have to measure out the amount you give.
Yeah. Golden Retriever, intact male, I don't know, maybe a year. But if you're neutering or spaying your dog, I would say maybe 10 months, just depends. That's the food lady. All right. I think we are good.
We did it.
To go. All right, guys. Sorry. I just glanced at this. I just don't want to push them off. Do we still have... I don't think we do anymore, because we did this webinar on puppy biting and it was very thorough and it was very good, but I think it's only in our online school now, isn't it? Yeah. So Leslie, 5-month-old, still bites and nothing we have tried helps. Leslie, I'm really sorry to push your question off till next week, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you go to YouTube though, and we've answered this question so many times.
You'll find at least a few of our answers on YouTube.
Yeah. And, our questions are always time stamped. Mm-hmm. And so you can just go look at the last 10, which I guess is time consuming, but you could look at the last, 5 to 10 and I'm sure find this question, even though I don't think we've answered it in a few weeks.
If you go to our YouTube and you go in the search bar, you write Puppy Academy, puppy biting, it will go through all those timestamps and find you the timestamp.
It will?
It does.
It does?
It shows you timestamp.
That's so cool.
It won't show you the timestamp, but it'll pull up that video. And if it pulls up, go to the timestamps, you'll find one.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.